Well, good evening and happy Health and Wellness Wednesday. It is an opportunity to join us this evening for the Ask Dr. Jenny show. We are going to be discussing chronic disease this evening, and we're going to be talking about how you can prevent chronic disease. I want to thank everybody for taking time to come and join me. Wednesdays, I've kind of designated Health and Wellness Wednesday. And I do a broadcast in the morning. We do our sunrise daybreakers. What we do is that we welcome a brand new day, watch the sun come up, connect to nature, connect to source, and connect to community. And that community, of course, is you. And then in the evenings here, this morning I was talking about mind and spirit. And tonight we're going to be talking about your body. Well, I'm sure that we'll get into mind and body and spirit and the whole 10 yards, to be honest with you. So I'm really excited for this evening because it's going to be packed full of a lot of information. And if you have any questions for Dr. Jenny or you would like to make a comment, put that in our comments and I'll see them come through and maybe we'll put your comment and we'll certainly try and get to as many questions as we possibly can. But I want to again thank you for joining us here on Health and Wellness Wednesday. This is the Dr. Jenny Show, and your health is important to us. And we want you to know that we care. And so we believe that men and women should be doing everything that they can do to maintain optimal health. And so we'll be talking about that this evening. June is Men's Health Awareness Month. It's all men and boys. We're not leaving the boys out. So if you're a boy, hey, this is your month here. This is about becoming aware of the things that you should do to be able to take care of yourself and prevent chronic disease and get your immune system boosted. Of course, that's a really important factor right now because of the COVID-19. We want to be able to raise the immune system in our body so that we can hold off getting sick, or if we do maybe get sick, not get as sick, okay? Now, we do this show every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'd love for you to join us every Wednesday, the Ask Dr. Jenny Show. And we want you to share this video out. We want you to share it to your friends, to the family, to the groups that you belong into. And then, like I said, if you have questions for us, please feel free to put the questions in the comments. And if you have, a statement that you would like us to address, go ahead and put that in the comments as well. Now, Dr. Jenny is with us. She is a clinical research associate. She's also chief executive officer of the Age Vital Pharmacy and Wellness Center right here on Main Street in Sarasota, Florida. She's been selected as the top naturopathic doctor of 2019 and she was awarded that for with respect to her research in stem cell and cannabinoid therapy, and that's by the international top professionals. And so it's all about her outstanding leadership. And she's with us this evening. She's going to share with us. It's going to be a great show. I'm really looking forward to it. Now, Dr. Jenny's board certified. She's a diplomat of the AAIM College of Nutrition. She is a pharmacist. She's a naturopathic doctor, and she's also a member of the LWN Foundation. Oh, you can't even see me. I realize that now. Not so funny. I'm sitting here talking, and you can't see me, but I'm here. Thanks. That's what I get when I try and be my own cameraman and everything, and I got distracted, but that's okay. It seems like today is going to be that day for these types of things for me. This morning, we were dealing live with nature and the ants, so that was a lot of fun too. If you saw that, that was a crack up. Not so much. I still feel the bite from those darn ants, but that's okay. Now, I was saying that Dr. Jenny actually is. I'm just laughing at myself for having left that banner up and I was hiding behind it, right? So she is the director of medical advisory for the LWN Foundation. And the LWN Foundation's concept is to be a platform. It's a resource for positive transformational change. We consider ourselves a health and wellness company. And so that's why we have Dr. Jenny this evening. So let me, without further ado, bring her in. Let's get started learning about chronic illness. And welcome, Dr. Jenny.
Hello, how are you?
I've got no. There you
Back
are.
back it up,
I
back it
am pretty
up.
good, except that I was hiding behind the banner, right?
My face looks
That was
gigantic.
good.
I'm like up close and personal over
You look
here.
fine.
Oh, how
Okay,
are
I
you
can
today?
change the up
Happy
close and
Wednesday.
personal. Hey, we're here, guys.
See a little bit.
I'll back this off.
Oh, that's better. Oh
You
my gosh.
That's like an in your face thing, right?
Yes, yes,
Awesome.
yep.
So, yeah. Well, we're off to a great roaring start. We've been having fun today on Health and Wellness Wednesday. We're
Yes.
live with nature and the ants, and gosh, not paying attention to what I'm doing. I'm really looking forward to the day
Yes.
that somebody else is
Who's
doing
working
this
so
for me.
hard?
Well, somebody else is helping me, so I can
Mm-hmm.
actually just focus on you, the guest, and the topic, right? Now, remember, folks, we want you to share this video out. Get it out to your
Mm-hmm.
friends. Get it out to the groups, okay? We're going to be going over some great information here. And I've let them know, Dr. Jenny, we're talking about chronic illness. We're talking about, you know, maybe the causes for chronic illness and then the things that we can do to prevent this, which is probably the most important factor. And so, yeah, let's start. How are you doing today?
I'm great. There's been so many cases, people getting sick again. So,
They're just right. The numbers are apparently right off the chart. And I initially was
hmm
thinking that this was because all these tests are coming back, maybe from 3 weeks ago. But, and you can clarify this for us. I guess what they're really looking at is the admissions into the hospitals. That's the number.
hmm
So,
the
what's your
percentages,
thinking here?
it's really bad in Manatee County, Sarasota, not so much, but
Okay.
Manatee County has, just a different type of demographic of people, and
Yes.
yeah. hmm
Manatee County,
So,
folks, that's just going to be north of us right here, a few miles. We're like sister cities almost, really.
yeah, they just did
Um,
a release saying that the Surgeon General is advising everybody wear masks.
I saw
So,
that. Of course,
yeah,
that came
and
across the
really it's
phone.
like if you're a carrier, if you're symptomatic or asymptomatic, right? You
Yes.
want to wear a mask because it's protecting other people. So
Hmm.
it's not, people are thinking, oh, it's going to protect me from getting the COVID. No, it's going to protect other people from the droplets of your sneeze or your, all of that. If you're already sick, it doesn't matter if you have, there's a lot of people out there that are like, I'm not going to wear masks because I'm going to get sick. Well, no, that's not true. It's
Yeah.
protecting you from droplets. Yeah, it's a personal choice whether you want to wear it, but then don't go around people that have autoimmune disorders or MS or diabetes or
Right.
Parkinson's, underlying medical issues, because they're the ones that are going to get affected, you know.
Now, what's all this talk about these masks and that they're causing problems too because people are breathing in fibers? And now, my thought is that those might be inferior masks, probably, or even just like these little painters masks, which are for dust. What's the story on that, do you think?
Well, there's so many different masks out there that people are buying, because you have the surgical masks, right? And OSHA is even recommending that people wear masks, so you can go straight to the OSHA website. But it's not guaranteed that for you to, like, hey, just because I'm wearing a mask, you won't catch COVID or you won't catch a cold. It's just you're protect. Even if you're just 50% protected, that's a 50% less chance of you getting sick, right? That's better. If you went into an Ebola outbreak, right? You're going to be doing that. Like today, I went and I saw a couple sick clients. They could have or could have not had COVID. Their test results haven't been in yet. So, but I'm going to make sure that I'm protecting, myself, because I have little children, right? And I want to
Mhm.
make sure, right? And I even asked them, like, when I'm coming, you wear a mask as well. So that way we're both, and I wear the N95s, which is for the medical professionals. I sell the
Right.
KN95s, which is exactly like the N95s. And they're easy to, to breathe in. But remember, these masks were made for surgeries and for, sterile environments. Okay, when I'm
Hmm.
using these masks in a sterile environment, like a pharmacy that's making drugs, there's no particle counts of bacteria. When you're walking outside, you have trillions of particle counts of bacteria, right? So
Yes, sure.
you can't walk around thinking that this mask is going to protect. You're taking just a little bit of, precautions when you're wearing the mask, but you're not going to protect yourself from anything because it's like a vacuum cleaner. It only goes in one way, right?
Right. And now with my day job, I'm in the refinishing business, the
Mm-hmm.
tubs and stuff. Now, of course, the first thing is that it's a safe and non-toxic porcelain glaze. But I wear a mask. I have to wear the respirator to do
Mm-hmm.
that because I certainly want to protect my lungs. Um, and I have always said, I thought, go out and breathe the air, and that's probably worse for you. Like if you're in places that have a lot of smog, like LA or something like that, or New York. But of course, boy, this COVID-19, isn't that a benefit that it's actually cleared up some of the airs and cleared up the water, and the earth's
You've
got a
seen the,
break,
yeah.
you know? I
You
think
see
it is.
all, yeah, you see what's happening to the ocean now because of people not
Yeah.
being out. Yeah, it's amazing just in two
Yeah.
months. So there are some pluses with it, right? There's a lot of
There are.
negativity out there, but it's really, there are creatures that were going extinct in the ocean that are coming back and thriving
Awesome.
because
That's
of
awesome.
people. Yes, so let's praise God for that. That's awesome, right?
Yes, it is awesome. Now, I mentioned earlier, if you have questions or you have a comment, and I see a bunch of them here, and we'll get to that in just a moment here, because your comments and your questions are important to us. This is an interactive broadcast, so we'll get to that in just 1 minute. But I wanted to kind of start it out. I know that we haven't quite got to chronic illness, and so I wanted to ask, Dr. Jenny, if a person wanted to prevent chronic illness, and what would you recommend for them? What would you say that they should be doing if they wanted to prevent chronic illness?
Like there's different types of chronic illnesses. Prevention is key for everything, right? So you want to treat your body like a car, and just if you have bad habits, remember those bad habits eventually can cause a domino effect of side effects in the future of things that can, potentially go wrong with your mechanics. Your body's a car. So you want to make sure you're changing your oil and rotating those tires and looking at the right type, the type of octane in your car. So my top prevention is, staying on top of your gut, making sure that you're constantly replenishing your gut with that good bacteria, the probiotics. I have several different probiotic supplements in my store that I recommend. My favorite is that GI Torque because it's, specific for, that bacteria that actually evolves with you. It grows with you. So the different types of bacteria that actually evolve with you. But yeah, bacteria helps you to manufacture B12, and they're constantly combating. It's like soldiers in there going to war with like a different, if I say a different country, trying to use analogies, but they're soldiers that are battling for you in there, and you want to take all that good bacteria. Vitamin D is huge. Taking vitamin D injections once a week, or taking a vitamin D supplement, and vitamin D3 specifically with the K2, because without the K2, the vitamin D3 orally doesn't absorb. It doesn't go into the bones. It doesn't help with the calcium into the bones or the magnesium into the bones. So you want that vitamin D3 with the K2. The next one is if you can afford growth hormone and you can afford to test to see if you're growth hormone deficient. HGH is huge right now with COVID. I mean, there's so much that HGH protects your heart, makes your muscles stronger because it's
Okay.
amino acids. Yeah,
Okay, the
HGH is
amino acid. Okay.
it's 191 amino acid peptide chain, and it's in a tiny little vial. And usually it's the super elite, the wealthy, middle class, upper class that's able to afford that. In
Yeah.
some cases, there are some insurances that will pay for it if you
Okay.
have uh, a growth hormone deficiency that is approved by the insurance companies. But that's great. I love
Yeah.
that. Helps me with my muscle tone, and
You
yeah,
are
I love
toned
it.
too. And I was going to say, now, what would you tell the person that's watching this that doesn't have a lot of money to be able to afford things like that? What would be the next best choice for them?
I'd start budgeting,
Okay.
start looking at what you're spending your money on. It's amazing. I'm doing a podcast on Saturday about
Mm-hmm.
mental health with She Talks, you know.
Saw that.
Uh, yep. And one of the presenters is um, a an accountant of some sort that helps you to budget and manage and knowing what's more important. Nothing's more important than your health. Nothing.
Right.
I will pick investing in my health more than a mani-pedi. Okay, more than
Yeah.
going out and getting my hair done. Right?
Right.
It's just
Right.
where are my priorities? Knowing how to budget, and even like some of the people I started talking to, even some of my patients about that. Where are you spending your money? You're realizing sometimes you're eating out twice a day, and that adds up.
Yes. Yes,
Even
it
if it's
certainly can.
$7 and then $14 a day times 7 days a week times the whole entire month, you know, before you know it, you're spending 20, $300, $250 a month, right?
Yes.
On
I know I am because I got this
Right.
out. I want to go
That's
to
a
the
lot of
questions.
money. I'd rather buy some growth hormone and
Exactly.
use that to get
Okay.
rid
I
of
got
my
to maybe
wrinkles
try
and make
that
sure I'm
out then.
healthy and strong. Yeah. So I've
I
done that
haven't
even
done
with
that
my
yet.
kids. I've even
Okay.
budgeted on, when
Yeah.
not to eat. It's like, okay, I'm making breakfast. We're not going to go eat
Right.
breakfast anymore. Right?
Well, yes, especially these days, that the restaurants are back open. The first thing we probably want to do is go out to that restaurant and, spend some money, but you can do it a lot cheaper at home. Now,
Mm-hmm.
folks, I am going to get to your questions 1 minute. I'm just going to do this real quick. See, this is the types of things that I've been doing. Let me just turn this. Okay, I got the vitamin C here, the liposomal vitamin C, right?
Right. Oh,
And
yes.
so that's,
Mm.
yeah, so that's better than just regular vitamin C, isn't it?
Yes.
Can you tell
Because
the viewers why that's better?
it's in a liquid form, number one. And the
Right.
and then it's in its it's in the sodium ascorbate number two. There's a difference between sodium ascorbate and ascorbic acid, and
Okay.
it's going to be more bioavailable within the body when you're taking it in the sodium ascorbate. That's what you're naturally going to find in your fruits and your vegetables, specifically like oranges, tangerines. You know, I'm getting some feedback.
Yeah, we're getting some feedback here. I'm just going to go to this now because I don't want people to wait. I want you to know that your comments are important. So we're
Mm-hmm.
going to start with this. There's a Facebook user, and they're saying hello to us, and all the way from the Philippines. So that's so awesome. Thank you very much. We appreciate you for taking time to come and join us. Now, remember, share this video out to your friends in the groups. Christina Scullin,
Mm-hmm.
there I am because after I had hidden behind my logo and forgot to take that part off. Yeah, I was here.
Mm-hmm.
Another Facebook user says hello. Hello, Dr.
Hello.
Jenny.
There's no face on there.
Now, what you can do, folks, if you hadn't done that, you actually have to, when you come into the stream, you can back out of the stream, look at the post, and you have to click OK on showing your face. Otherwise, it won't show your face. You have to give Facebook permission to be able to display your face. Now, I wanted to go to, Christina's with us. Thank you so much, Christina. She says hello as well.
Hi,
Sandy
Christina.
says hello. I'm going to go to Christina, and she was talking about how she feels like it was manipulated and she wish it was over with. And that, I believe, is just specifically relating to this whole COVID-19. um, I mean, I saw something this morning that I'll share, and it's real possible some of the things we might say might create some problems for a company that starts with an F, and happens to be we're streaming to them. But nonetheless, we're streaming to our website too. By the way, you can go and watch this on our website and YouTube Live. By the way, bottom line is,
Hmm.
Yeah, there's censoring going on out there. Some of this information they don't want out. But I saw this thing, and it just seemed like maybe it was a thing about Trump. Because of course he's in
Hmm.
the news all the time. Now I really don't want to get into the politics of it. It seemed that maybe it had something to
Yeah.
do with making sure that the economy sucks, so that he could be blamed.
Yeah.
Um,
I would agree with that. I think that's
yeah,
a good, it seems to, things like this always happen right around election time. If you
yeah.
look at the past, it always does. And
Well,
they're getting braver and they're getting, now,
anything goes.
and you can just
Apparently, is
look
what
at
I'm learning.
Craigslist ads. I've looked up Craigslist ads, like
Yeah,
I have an account, with the Democrats and the
sure.
liberals, and I have the conservatives too, and I have it
Right.
all, but I want to see what they get. So I get all of the different emails and all of the places where you're supposed to meet up, and for $15 an hour, you can come and bring your sign, and I saved it. I saved the thing and I called and I said, really, $15 an hour? Oh my gosh. So
Peop-
yeah, when people are unemployed and you can go and riot, they're desperate for money,
Wow. So I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
let's just turn
it's
this
really
into a
on
business.
Craigslist, right? They
Let's turn it into business.
There's
Yeah,
a lot
down with
of
Trump. No,
business.
hey, I'm
That's a
sorry.
lot of business and chaos, right?
Yes, it is.
Is a lot of money in making people sick. Just saying. Big
Well,
Pharma does it all the time.
and I know that
Just
we're a little bit off track here, but the bottom line is, yeah,
mhm.
I have 15 years
But
of
I like that you brought
experience.
that up because I love
Okay.
stuff like that. I've been in the pharmacy industry since I was a little girl. My mom has been in the medical profession for the past, 28 years,
Right.
30 years. It's been a long time.
And that's what I was going to say. I was in the healthcare industry for 15 years. It was one of my careers, absolutely. Although I was in on the manufacturing end of it for products to the hospitals. But yeah, I learned a lot about it. And the fact of the
Mhm.
matter is particularly times like right now, where the economy's bad, the society tends to get sicker. It
'Cause you're
keeps
stressed.
yeah, and
Yep.
so it keeps the hospitals in business. And I know I'm way straying off here, and I try. I'm not political. I have no political choice one way or another on this video. It's not going to happen.
Mhm.
But the bottom line, and we're a nonprofit. We can't be saying that we support anybody in particular, but bottom line is that yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on out there. People are getting sick. Can we maybe go back what you're thinking on the fact that there's so many cases that are being reported right now? Is it getting worse, do you think?
Well,
Obvi-
according to the CDC, it is. Now, I've thought of actually calling hospitals and finding out. I've had several practitioners saying they called hospitals. Are like, no, there's plenty of beds. They're saying they're running out of beds. But I have doctors, my colleagues, saying I've called. There's plenty of beds there, so I don't know where they're getting this in the news. You
and
know.
I heard in Children's Hospital, I was told the Children's Hospital is taking in adults for whatever reason. So it's a terrible situation. We don't want anybody to get sick. And so what we're talking
Right.
about tonight is prevention. It's
And that's
all
what it's
about
all about,
prevention.
Stephen.
Right.
Instead of saying, guys, wear masks, why aren't we teaching people how to prevent? How do we reduce a cytokine storm? And what is a cytokine storm? And how does somebody prevent and reverse a cytokine storm? And people don't know. It's like when you're under stress, when you're anxious, you produce inflammatory cells like that. And so when you're producing inflammatory cells, you're exposing yourself to be sick. Just like when you're not sleeping, you're producing cytokine storm, right? It's like sleeping equals weakened immune system, right? If you go out into the rain and you play for hours and then you're going into a cold room and you're wet and damp, right? It's reducing your temp. You're reducing your immune system. There's so many different, just like smoking cigarettes, it reduces drinking alcohol, reduces your immune system. Coffee, drinking too much of it, reduces your immune system. So how do you live in an environment that's toxic? Because there's no way around it. Everything in some way is designed to, cause cytokines to produce in our body. Stressing, number one, stop stressing. Don't stress. Like, limit yourself in the amount of news. Gosh, I had to stop. I was getting into that. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what's going on with our world? prevention, research prevention, use us as a resource. Call the LWN Foundation, we're going to communicate back and forth about, what to do. Vitamin D increases your immune system. Vitamin D is essential for immune function and for brain health. B complex, minerals, vitamin C, glutathione. There are so many different supplements. Zinc stops the replication of COVID-19. Right? That and the hydroxychloroquine, it's another one, and that works because it takes the zinc and it actually pushes it into the cells to protect the cells. So that's why it works. So when people are taking this prescription drug, that's an actual prescription that's meant for it's an anti-malarial medication, right? That's actually working for COVID. So when a lot of people are taking it, if you take it the first, day, second day that you get diagnosed, it stops, the COVID-19. But so does vitamin C and zinc and vitamin D. I have patients that we go and visit.
Tell us about this. How is that going to help us as well? And I've been taking this. Remember, we talked about the fact that what was happening was that I decided that I needed, they filter all the minerals out of the water and some other good stuff, clearly the fluoride, which is not so good for us, but amongst other things, clearly. And so I've been adding it to my water. It got me into a habit of drinking water on a regular basis, as a matter of fact. And that was nice because, I'm getting more water because we've got to stay hydrated too, right? Right now, it's probably really important. I mean, we're having intense
Your
heat.
cells need fuel, minerals equals energy for your cells. So when you're giving them this concentrated minerals and it's in its natural form, it's got magnesium, it's got the chloride, it's got sodium, it's got potassium, it's got the sulfate, the lithium, the boron, and other concentrated seawater. That's in there. Like it's actually, like salt water. It actually tastes very, 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 very bitter, but it's good to put a small amount of that. And not only is it good for your cells, but it's also really good because when you're thirsty, Stephen, your body's what it's actually craving is minerals. It's not just if your water does not have the right amount of minerals, the concentrates in there, you're going to be dehydrated. You're going to keep drinking more water until you feel there. And there's so many waters that it says free and clear, reverse osmosis, this, that, purified. And what that means is we stripped it away from any nutritional value. And what you're drinking is not guaranteed to hydrate your cells because it's robbing you of those oxygen molecules that your cells need in order to thrive. So feed your cells, not inflammation. So when you're drinking water that says free and clear, that's a big sign. Don't drink it, or get that free and clear, right? Or get a mineral drop, just like that super concentrate that you dropped up, and drop it in the water.
This is right here,
I'll get the Fiji water, and I still drop those concentrates. I'm not gonna take, a label's value, saying, "Oh, this is really good. It's the finest water out there, Stephen." But I've tested so many waters that says a fantastic pH balance, and I'm in the pharmacy. We make drugs for a living, and I have like the the pH devices, not the strips, because if I'm making stuff to go in the body, injectables, IVs, in the eye, I have to make sure it really is pH balanced, not just because someone says it is, right? And I've tested so many waters, and a lot of them, I'm like, oh, well,
that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted you to address. That's an important factor. Is that what should our viewers be looking for? They can certainly
put lemon water. Put lemon squeeze in your water all the time. Put a little bit of salt in your water.
I gotta start doing the lemon. I do like lemon in water, but
that super concentrate minerals.
If we've got all the products. We've got it on our website. She's got a ton more. We're working on that. She's got tons of products. I mean, just you name it, and she can formulate product for you too as well. You can reach out to Dr. Jenny and get a medical consultation as well, and then go through the process of finding out exactly what you need. But my point is, what makes your products better than something else that you can just go down to the GNC or to the Walgreens, better than just doing that?
Well, you got to remember 90% of the nutraceutical industry is not regulated. What that means is
That's scary.
what they claim is on the bottle doesn't necessarily mean that that's what's on inside the capsule or the liquid or the supplements. Like Centrum Silver, I'm sorry, Centrum Silver, but your product sucks.
Okay.
And they did studies at different universities, and Centrum Silver was the #1 vitamin found in porta potties. How disgusting is that? So if they're finding fully intact capsules, tablets in porta potties, what does that mean?
Yeah.
It means that the body never
Yeah.
absorbed it. It never broke down in the gut, and someone just literally threw away $50 buying a crappy vitamin. And Centrum Silver is for old people. I had a 96-year-old patient yesterday that I went to see, and she had all of these vitamin supplements that she's taking from Nature's Way, and every
Right.
single one of them is synthetic and disgusting. And I'm looking, I was like, well, no wonder you feel like crap.
Okay.
Your supplements are crap. This one's got
Right.
cyanide. This one's got formaldehyde. They're all in their synthetic forms. It's ill,
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh my gosh, she goes, come to
Well,
think of it, I started feeling like crap the moment they told me to start taking vitamins. And she's 96 years old, and she was so sassy. But I'm like, let's switch out your supplements and give you bioavailable nutrition, meaning nutrition that's actually going to be readily available, and the body's going to recognize it as if it's being pulled out of a Whole Foods, and it's going to nourish your cells. It's going to nourish your brain. It's going to feed your muscles. It's going to feed all the different parts of your body, your cellular energy, neurological energy, mitochondrial energy, all of that. We need energy to drive these cars. My Lamborghini takes a lot of fuel.
Exactly. It does. And so, yeah.
I'm really hyper, Stephen, but in a really good way.
That's awesome. So we'll bounce back to a couple of these questions. Like
I saw a
Christina's,
question about the salts. I saw someone.
yeah. Okay.
While we were on that topic, who was
Let's
it?
go. Let's go
So
on
adding
that.
it was from
This
Sandy
one?
Jew.
Yeah.
Yep.
This one here.
So adding salt into water is to put in, it's a mineral. Yeah, salt plays such a crucial role in maintaining human health. It is the main source of sodium and chloride ions in the human diet. So sodium is essential for nerve and muscle function, and it involves also the regulation of fluids in the body. So sodium also plays a role in the body's control of blood pressure volume. So not enough salt, there's all the important things of it, but getting it all together in a mineral concentrate, you're getting it all in its free form, and that's the way I recommend it. But if you don't have access to, say you went on vacation or you're out of your house and you're like, oh, darn it, I forgot my super trace. Not everybody's nerdy like you and me, Stephen. I have like a little pharmacy in my purse. I'm like, I got a pill in here for that, But then ask for lemon water. Oh, all stuff. I'm like, I'm high on vitamin B12. They're like, why do you have so much energy? How come your memory is so good?
Now, Christina's asking about the water, of course, and what is the best water? But I think we've kind of covered that, haven't we? From the standpoint of you can add the minerals back in. That's the trace minerals that we were just showing you a moment ago. I'll show it to you again. The trace mineral drops. I'm adding them into my, water that was filtered of all of its good stuff.
Yeah, I really like the black water, because the black water's got all the natural trace minerals in there. If you can find someone that sells the black water, I might still have access to it on my website. I'll have to check.
Okay.
A lot of my warehouses,
What's
have run out
water?
of stock. Yeah, black water has the fulvic. It's a brand. It's actually called Black Water, BLK water. So you look it up, and they have like citrus ginger. But it's one of the only waters that I've really tested that's really, really good. And I'm testing with the pharmaceutical ingredients, and the pH is always nice and high, but it's got that fulvic and humic acid, which are natural sources of those trace minerals, and it really helps your gut. It's very addicting. I love it. But when I drink one bottle of the black water, I like, in my head, I feel like a light bulb goes off, where it's like, wow, I was dehydrated. I didn't realize how dehydrated I was until I drink a bottle of black water. I get this insane neurological energy, and it's like, oh my gosh. So I need to start stocking it again in my store. I was carrying it for a while, but like I said, COVID kind of, companies have been, it's just been a mess.
Well,
but
right.
I'm going to look into that.
things aren't available like they used to be, but hopefully that will come back. But then we don't know. Like we mentioned just earlier, uh, we all here in Florida, if you happen to have a cell phone, pretty much most of everybody, we got an alert from the Surgeon General of the state of Florida saying, wear your mask, follow the precautions, keep the social distancing, 65, stay home. I mean, now, come on. You might not necessarily have to stay home, but just be preventative. Just be careful. Just use good, healthy routines and washing your hands and stuff like that, right? Keep your
Yeah.
distance
I
and
sell the
wear a mask.
vials. People can give their own injections at home,
And there you are.
or buy the injections and, contact a nurse on a payroll, really good company that'll send nurses or CNAs straight to your house,
Okay.
LPNs, and they'll give the injections for you. And it's like a $30,
That's
extra.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And
So,
we're working towards having that. I mentioned earlier that the LWN Foundation is a platform and a resource for health and wellness. And, that's really what it's about. The healing with nature, of course, is a big, huge part of my story. And that's what I do in the mornings with the sunrise. But the other part is to have a referral center, which we're working on, as a matter of fact. And I guess I'm letting the cat out of the bag on that one. So, yeah, no, but we are going to have a referral center and be able to get people the resources that they need to have based on their particular situation. We're also going to be dealing, yeah, I guess I'm letting it all go. Okay, so some of it, not all of it. I got a really big thing coming for y'all, folks. But anyways, we're going to be talking about mental health too more, okay? And that's going to be a really important factor. And Dr. Jenny mentioned that she's going to be doing one of the speakers on a mental health thing coming up. We're going
this
to deal
Saturday.
this Saturday. Maybe you can go back, or if you can, we can get that link in there so that people can take a look at that. We're going to have regular mental health awareness. We're going to be, navigating mental health, and because that's a big part of it too. And so many people are struggling there. But I wanted to bring this up. Nina had sent me this urgent warning. Be careful not to take the paracetamol that comes written P/500. So it's a new product that contains machupo virus, considered one of the most dangerous in the world. What's the story on that? I'll show you the picture there, if I can get it right. Have you ever heard of this stuff?
What does that say?
I
It's
can't.
called P500.
Yeah, let me just get it. Oh, that's not going to work. It's not working so well with my green screen. It's P-A-R. I'll spell it for you. P-A-R-A-C-E-T-A-M-O-L. Yeah, that didn't work good with a green screen, did it? How do you like my editing? There's no editing. This is live.
Yeah. Paracetamol tablets are for headaches, and they use it for It's like
So this is part of what I wanted to lead to, and this is the point: is that if you don't know about this stuff, it could make you sick just taking some of this stuff, because I don't know whether this is regulated or it's coming from somewhere that's trying to kill us, but clearly it may be. So the point is be careful, and that's what I wanted you to tell is tell the people why they should be coming to Age Vital.
Yeah, but paracetamol is just a brand, like
it's just a brand.
Tylenol is just a brand.
Okay.
What it is it's acetaminophen. So it's like Tylenol.
Okay,
so acetaminophen is not. I was just talking to a patient today that I did a house call for that was doing my immune boosting drips, and they were getting worse, and they may or may not have COVID. So I'm in there in my bodysuit. Right. But I was like, don't, this weakens your immune system, destroys your gut. If you're destroying your gut, you're going to get sicker. You're going to have relapsing. And all of the studies now, you can look at PubMed, NCBI shows that acetaminophen causes cardiovascular issues and respiratory issues. So you want to, for real, no joke. I can't even make this up. All the studies are there, but doctors still recommend it. It's like, no, that's not the answer. You want to lower a fever. You want to lower your fever naturally, take melatonin. Melatonin reduces your body temperature. Take high dose CBD. So here's how you're doing something natural now, combining the both of them together, taking CBD oil, exactly right. 60 milligrams every couple of hours
Yeah.
of the
That's the
CBD
66.
oil.
Yep.
Yep. That's the 66 milligrams.
Yes,
That's a
it is,
perfect
man.
dose.
And
Every
that's
time my children get a fever, I mean, I kick it within a 48-hour period without acetaminophen, without naproxen, without aspirin, without ibuprofen. All of these things are toxic. They are not good for you. Aspirin is probably the safest one out of all of those NSAIDs, but naproxen, ibuprofen, acetaminophen, these are terrible for your gut. You're going to give yourself ulcers. You're going to give yourself, holes in your stomach, and you're killing off your bacteria, and that's not good. So reduce your body temperature with melatonin. You can look at the studies. If you can't find them, I will send you all the studies, that real quantifiable data that shows melatonin reduces fevers, So you're taking 25 milligrams of melatonin spread out, within 50 milligrams of melatonin spread out within three times during the day to reduce it. It makes you sleepy, but when you're sleeping, what does your body do? It's simple. Just think about it. I'm walking you through it. If you're going to sleep and your body's telling you you're sleepy when you're sick, there's a reason why you get tired when you're sick, because the body's like an iPhone. Recharge me, low battery, right? So reboot. Take these supplements and allow your body to go in there and get rid of all of the fungus, the mold, the virus, the bacteria, whatever it is you're fighting off. Go to sleep. Don't ignore it. Some people are just sitting on the couch watching TV. No, get in the bed and go to sleep. Get a big bowl of bone broth soup, get some bones, boil them, let all of those stem cells boil to the top, and drink that bone broth. Drink all the stem cells.
That's
Fresh
the thing
squeeze.
about chicken soup, right? Is it's the
Yes,
broth. We talked about that, and it's like, why does chicken soup make you feel better? And it's because it's
because of the stem cells, the peptides in the bone.
okay.
So your body is wanting fuel for your cells. And that's where our cells are manufactured, is in our bones. So your health is only going to be as good as the healthy cells that your body's producing, manufacturing. So this is why the B complex is so important. Why iron and B6 and B12 and folate and thiamine and riboflavin, all of these, the pyridoxal 5-phosphate, which is the B6, is so important because it is strengthening your stem cells in your bone marrow, so your body produces good, healthy, plump red blood cells. And you look at, the quality of your cell underneath a microscope, which is something that we do in the pharmacy too. We show patients what red blood cells are supposed to look like, and then we prick their finger and then show them on a big screen. Here's your red blood cells. This is why you're sick. This is why you have diabetes. This is why you have this.
That's where I wanted to go to. I'm looking for the comment here about Christina Scullin about the saliva test. As a matter of fact, I was just at a customer's house today. She's got the nerve problem where you feel like you've got pain all over you because of the nerve endings firing. I'm trying to remember the name of that darn disease.
Neuropathy?
No, shoot. Here we go again. So just a brain fade on that particular thing. It's
Take
pretty
that CBD oil right now. Take a couple drops.
CBD, and we were talking about CBD as well, but I was talking about how, and this is what I want the viewers to know. This is the process. You can reach out. We can do the. We can send you the saliva test. Is the thing, right? And the saliva test is better because, and help me, correct me where I go wrong here, and then I want you to explain it. It's over several tests so that you can get an average reading. Is that the correct thing? Tell us about the saliva test. All right, I won't tear it up any more than that.
Well, the saliva testing is great for the hormones. I love saliva testing because you're testing more often throughout the day. So you're looking at the whole entire roller coaster, as opposed to just doing a blood serum. Means you're taking it from your vein and you're doing those tiger tops, like when you go to the lab and they're doing the lab. That's only giving you a 15-minute glimpse.
Okay.
So you can be normal during that 15 minutes, and your laboratory work says, hey, you're normal. And your doctor says, there's nothing wrong with you. And then he's going to think, well, she's just cuckoo. And then he gives you a cuckoo pill, right? Because it's all in your head. And that's insulting. I hate it when women come to me like, my doctor thinks I'm crazy because I keep telling them that I'm like crying and I'm angry and then I'm laughing, And it's like, no, baby, that's your hormones.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a roller coaster ride. She could be normal at 9, but at 9:30, she's a raging bitch, And
Right.
that's a real. It's the seven dwarfs of menopause, or the PMDD, the post-menstrual disorder, and then the premenstrual disorder, the
Right.
PMS. So that is that. And then men go through cycles as well, right? Men
That's
go
what you were
through,
saying. Yeah.
they get
No.
testy. There's a reason why they say, are you testy, right? Too
Oh,
much
yeah.
testosterone, how do
Testosterone.
you lower it? Right. That's why they call it that. We're
Yeah.
not.
And you have products for all that stuff, which is so cool. So what we're really trying to say too is that the best way to do this, I think what I'm trying to say is that the best way to do this is preventative. That's what we've been talking about. And so you need to uh, check with someone that can give you good advice and not prescribe something necessarily from a pill factory. But this is where Dr. Jenny comes in, and this is the reason why we've got her in our medical advisory board, so that she can help us make sure that you know the best things to help you prevent chronic illness. Now, how does the viewer decide what they should be taking? What's the next step for them then, Dr. Jenny?
Well, to start with, always, everybody should be on probiotics. Just get on it. That should be part of your nightly routine. Be on it. Vitamin D, you should always be on that as well. You can never get, enough. The studies on vitamin D show, the amount, I mean, it has to be so astronomically high and people avoid the sun. I mean, we're like a society of walking vampires, right? This is why people getting sick all the time. I mean, we've had flu seasons a couple of years ago that were so much worse than this COVID. I mean, we had 4,000 people a week dying from the flu. 2 years
Yeah,
ago,
right,
2000, was it 2018 when that was
okay,
I'm just like, I mean, I was looking at the CD. I'm like, oh my gosh,
right.
why are people getting sick? Because they're not out in the
Hmm.
sun. I recommend, going out and getting your natural vitamin D. And it is fat soluble, but we're doing things in our everyday that's ex- utilizing is the word, your vitamin
Okay,
D reserves. It's fat
yeah,
soluble. CBD is fat soluble, but that tank runs out. So you have to constantly be refueling, right?
okay,
That's why you're taking the supplements. And if you have a job where you're indoors 8 to 12 hours a day, then you got to take supplements, right?
right.
And then be preventative by testing those levels. You can do a vitamin D panel for, $50 to $100, depending on what lab you go to. And I sell that Nutra-Eval, which is saliva, which is urine in a blood spot, or blood serum in a urine panel. You're doing a 24-hour urine collection, and that tells me what nutrition you're deficient in. I recommend that panel every single year just to see where your levels are, to stay on top of it. If you're an alcohol drinker, you're going to be deficient. If you're a smoker, you're going to be deficient. If you're taking these big pharmaceutical drugs, you're going to be deficient. If you're taking these NSAIDs, you're going to be deficient. So if you're an acetaminophen popper, ibuprofen popper, naproxen popper, you have to be functional and prevent the negative adverse reactions of that pill. So you're counter modulating. So you're living. I have people that take opiates that still take Dilaudid and oxycodone
Right.
for pain management because they have, spinal bars in their back, or they have a fake tibia and a fake femur, right?
Right. Right.
They're in chronic pain. But with their opiates, they take really high dose CBD.
Yeah.
They're taking
Okay.
other supplements that counter modulate the negative adverse reactions of the opiates. So I'm
Now
not
that
100% against pharmaceuticals. There is a
right.
time and a place,
Yeah,
right?
okay, sure. Now that leads us to Yogi Ramesh Pandey, and I just want to thank Yogi for
Yogi.
coming. Yeah, he's going to be on our show. He's coming up in I believe 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. He's going to be on the Get to Know show. I can't wait. He is the Laughing Yogi. That is therapy, by the way, folks. Too. Okay, so he's the Laughing Yogi to Hollywood, as a matter of fact. But I just love him, and he's been around for a while, and I can't wait to introduce you to him and how he's making a positive impact on our Get to Know broadcast. But he's asking about the CBD. So tell us about the CBD and its role in helping us be able to be healthier as well.
Hmm. And
Well,
CBD
pain
is
too,
phenomenal.
of
And I
course.
love your name. It makes me think of Yogi Bear. I almost did it. I almost said, "Hey, boo boo." Am I?
He loved that. We're laughing now, right?
Oh, that's Yogi.
Excellent.
I love Yogi Bear. He's one of my favorites.
Well, to see,
He-
that's the power of Yogi Ramesh. I mean, just being here in the audience is helping us, right? We can feel that laughter. That's so
yeah.
awesome. So, talk to us about the CBD, yes, because that's an important
CBD.
factor. Hmm.
Hmm. Oh, excuse me.
That's all right.
CBD stands for cannabidiol, and it is the non-psychoactive molecule in the cannabis plants. But you got to remember that CBD is not just in the marijuana plants. And I say marijuana because a lot of people are like, cannabis, what is that? They're so used
Right.
to, right, hearing
Yeah.
it's once you know the word cannabis, throw
Right.
away marijuana. It's
Right.
like that's a
Marathon.
street name, right? It's
Yeah.
cannabis. Cannabis is
Or
hemp.
pot
Hemp,
or weed or
cannabis,
whatever.
interchangeable. Hemp, cannabis. The government wants to say there's a difference between hemp and cannabis. No, it's the same seed. You put it in the ground, you grow it, whether it grows nice and tall or stays nice, short, and bushy. That's what differentiates the amount of psychoactive molecules in the plants to non-psychoactive molecules in the plant. So once it
Right.
gets big and bushy, it's a mature cannabis plant, just like you have a mature banana
Okay.
and a green banana,
All
right?
right.
So each one has different
So,
medicinal properties, but CBD is anti-inflammatory, it's anti-analgesic, it's anti-seizure, it's antimicrobial, it's antibacterial. There are so many different things. It's a good anti-aging addition for women, for skincare, for wrinkles, for your hair, to seal the hair if you have frizzy hair. This is
yeah.
me on a terrible hair day. I'm so sorry.
Now, is the CBD extracted from
It's
cannabis? I'm trying
yes,
to be politically correct.
yes.
From cannabis that might have THC in it, then,
Mhm.
right? So you're extracting that part of it, which
Mhm.
is the not getting you high
Mhm.
aspect of it, but it's got all these benefits as well,
Yeah. Yes.
right?
It's extracted. So you have processing facilities. You have the growers that grow it,
Right,
and then they sell it to the processing facilities, or some of the growers own their own processing
right.
facilities, and you break it down. You go
Hmm.
through super critical extraction processes, and you're making what's called active pharmaceutical ingredients, API, in the pharmaceutical space. It's what it's called. So you're turning it into an oil or a shatter or Rick Simpson oil, or you're turning it into an isolate, which is like a powdery format, or into crystals, or you're leaving it, you're cleaning it up and leaving it in whole flower for people to either vape it, right, to smoke it in a bong, or into,
Hmm.
some people smoke the whole flower of the CBD. You can get um, CBD flower, right?
Oh,
And what that means is, yeah, and if you're testing your yield, farmers, you can sell legal cannabis. It's just the percentage of THC has to be less than 0.3%. But better alternative to all of these neuropsychiatric medications than what people are taking if you're on Prozac or Wellbutrin or Adderall or Trazodone. And I mean, just think of all of these toxic drugs that people are taking to help them sleep, to get rid of their anxiety, to get rid of their depression, to get rid of their inflammation, to get rid of their pain. And they can replace it with some form of cannabis, whether it has THC in it, or if it's just CBD by itself. Now, 9% of the population, Steve, is genetically predisposed to be addicted to THC. So not everybody's a candidate for THC. Just like we have that same population of people that are, genetically predisposed to be addicted to alcohol.
right.
I can drink a glass of alcohol and I won't
Yeah.
be like, oh God, I have to have another one and I can't stop.
Right. Right.
There are
Right.
people that get THC and they can't stop. That's an actual addiction, right?
And
But
you're not going to be able
CBD,
to function. So that's
they
the
won't be able to function,
yeah.
right?
I
They're
mean, yeah,
taking it
right.
to get stupid, right? As
Yeah.
opposed to using it for medicinal purposes, right?
Right. 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 I mean, I suppose there's a time and a place. I mean, it's not my
There
time
is.
or place, but there is a time and a place, and there's always a moderation issue. I'm certain that that's a very important factor, because I know for myself, I have so much going on. I need to be alert. I don't need to be drunk like I used to be in the old in the days, or high or whatever. I just need to be
Mhm.
focusing. But I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, I
Mhm.
love not being in pain. That's a big deal for me.
Oh, absolutely. I used to have debilitating migraines. Now I get them a couple times out of the month, and that's usually when Aunt Flo comes to visit.
I
And
see.
women, you know what I'm talking about. When you are menstruating, you have that big drop in progesterone. You're going to get that big spike in estrogen, and it just gives you this terrible, terrible, terrible migraine. And some women have it. CBD is a big game player for me. Sometimes I catch it really early on, but sometimes I get so busy
Yeah.
where I get the migraine, but I used to get them every single day. Imagine
Wow. I
living
know that
like
it's so
that.
bad.
Just,
Oh, that's
oh, it
terrible.
was terrible.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
I do during that time of the month, women take some CBD right before your cycles and during your cycles. It'll get rid of your cramping. It'll get rid of your bloating. It'll get rid of your headache and your migraine. It's just
Hmm.
it's a game changer. And you're giving your body something that it needs, as opposed to just popping a bunch of pills that is just adding to stripping away your nutrients and stripping away your endocrine system, right? So it's all
Hmm.
about prevention. But I have doctors, pain management doctors, that use my CBD protocols, my cannabis protocols, clinical applications for medical cannabis. And for their pain management patients, it takes them about a month to get them off of the meth, right? The
Hmm.
methadones and the oxycodone and the Duragesic patches. And we have a crisis here in Florida. Florida is one of the worst for opiate abuse. And people
It
are getting
was.
it
Oh
on
my
the
God.
street. I mean, you have gangs out there that are buying, who knows where they're getting it from, but they're getting it from
Yeah.
someplace. There's a lot of crooked people out there contributing to, these opiate epidemic, right?
It
And
was
it's not
bad.
because
It
it's not
was
just
bad.
doctors,
No, it
right?
was very serious. A lot of our children were dying as a result of that. And it was
Hmm.
a terrible situation that they put a stop to. And I know I'm grateful for that.
Yes.
I did
And
want to mention,
we need to continue to educate on that too. So pain
yeah,
alternatives and
pain
medication is
alternatives.
so expensive too, where people go to the street and buy stuff that's laced with other stuff.
Who knows what you're getting, right?
Hmm.
So that's a scary deal. I want to thank Christina Scullin for getting the word that I couldn't think of earlier, and that was fibromyalgia. Um,
Ah,
Okay.
fibromyalgia. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
That's what this customer has. And she's gone through the therapy. And by the way, I told her to reach out to you. She's going to be doing that
Hmm.
um, because she needs your help. She's done a lot of stuff over the years. But I'll just hit this. We only have a few minutes left. Let's hit this question because that's what her situation was. She can't do the THC, you know. She can't do that part because she feels anxiety. Now you can talk to her, but
Yep.
she feels anxiety and panic, and so it's like and
It
probably
will.
high. Clearly,
Yep.
if she's just doing the THC, what do you suggest for people that are dealing with something like that, so that they don't go through this anxiety or feel like it's not right? What's the answer for the people like that? They can.
CBD, plain CBD. So anybody that has a medical cannabis card or in a state that has the recreational use, always carry CBD. Be responsible. If you're
Excellent.
using any form of THC supplements, vapes, smoking, and you don't know what kind of strain you're smoking or vaping, right? Always carry plain CBD. I do
Yep.
plain CBD rapid dissolving tablets, and I do THC
Yes.
free. Yep, those are amazing
Yes.
because if you're getting the paranoia and the anxiety from too much THC, that just means you got too much THC. Just like you're drinking too much coffee. What happens when you drink too much coffee?
Yeah.
You get
Yeah.
anxious,
Yeah.
right? You
Yeah.
get
Sure.
jittery, and you're like,
Sure.
and that's just your
Yeah.
body saying, I
Yeah.
need minerals because this stuff just dehydrated me. THC
Right.
is very much the same. So start taking more CBD, and it'll get rid of your anxiety. It'll get rid of your paranoia. I had a friend that always thought her husband was cheating, and she was always so super, super paranoid. I'm like, no, 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 your husband is not cheating. It's like, what kind of cannabis are you smoking, because you need to lay off.
Right.
And
So
there's thousands of strains, just like there's
yeah,
thousands of strains of wine, right? Wine is medicinal, but the wrong type of wine can disagree with somebody,
yes,
right? So with that plant, it's the same thing. This is why it's so important to use facilities that actually do their diligence of giving you a certificate of analysis and also a certificate of authenticity, that it's regulated and you know exactly what's in your supplement. You want to make sure that your supplement is, what it says it is. And there's different ratios. You have a 1-to-1, a 1-to-2, a 1-to-3, a 1-to-4, a 1-to-30. And what that means is, CBD to THC, right? Or THC to CBD. And you're taking that. Like, I can't do a really high dose of THC either. I don't like the way I feel when I'm on it,
right. I can
So
appreciate that.
yeah.
You got a lot. And so the point is that all of the things that she's just said, yes, that's the products that we're talking about here with Age Vital. They're in our store on the website, and we are here to help you. We're expanding our actual line. She has a lot on her website as well. We got to wrap it up, though. I just want to remind everybody, we come back every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we ask Dr. Jenny about medical questions. We try and have a theme. This was June Men's and Boys Health Awareness Month. Let's be proactive here. Let's try and take care of ourselves and be as healthy as we can. We'll look forward to coming back and seeing you next Wednesday at 7 Eastern Standard Time. Please do join us. Remember to share this video out, and go ahead and close us out here, Dr. Jenny.
As always, I urge you guys to be kind to one another, just as Christ has always been so kind with us, right? Be quick to forgive and quick to pray, because remember, you don't know what people's story is. There's people that are hurting out there, and sometimes we have to be the bigger person, as much as that pains us to be the bigger person. I really think in scripture, that's what turning the other cheek means. It doesn't mean like let somebody slap you physically in the face, right? It just means like, okay, if you're a lot more sane than that person and that person's acting a little cuckoo. We all have our cuckoo moments. Just be patient with one another. There's so much hate and there's so much violence in the world right now. Spread some light and positivity in people's life. Lift people up. Even though there's a lot of social distancing, right? Try to express some kindness with your words, because that really does help with a lot of the oxytocin production. Oxytocin is that feel good hormone that just makes you feel like you're in love, right? And if someone's being mean to you, just remember, hurt people, and be patient with them and see how you can try to get them to be unhurt. Lead them in the right direction by recommending these types of supplements that we're recommending, right?
Exactly. That's so awesome. Thank you so very much. We appreciate everybody that joined us this evening. We appreciate you that are watching on the replay. Remember to go, if you haven't seen the LWN Facebook page and you liked it yet, please do that. Tell your friends about that. Check us out on the website. We're www.lwnfoundation.org. There's lots of good information. We're in the process of doing some fantastic things. Come back and join us. I'll be back tomorrow morning at about 6:10 a.m. before the sunrise. Daybreakers Tribe. Join us, because we're going to be talking about gratitude. We're going to be talking on Thankful Thursday about, the things that we should be grateful for. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate you. God bless, and we'll see you soon. Bye now.